Alright, today we are looking at the Prime Batman from Justice League Unlimited set. He is number 5B. He is coming in with the Batman family, Gotham City, Justice League, Detective, Martial Artist, and Police keywords. Let's look at his first trait. He has Free. For the rest of the game, Batman can't use the Batman team ability. And whenever he occupies a clear square and is given a range action to use Incapacitate, Mind Control, or Penetrating Psychic Blast, he can use Improved Targeting, Hindering, and adjacent characters, the two circles with the arrow, and may instead target all opposing characters within line of fire. So that is huge. You can take away his team ability, and then anyone he can see, he can target with Mind Control, Incap, or Pensai. His second trait gives him Colossal Stamina. Okay, and then he has a variety of blue powers. Now, as you can see on the back of his card, he has a 6 range, 2 target. He's starting with a 6 movement, and that stays throughout his dial, a 12 attack, which also stays throughout his 4 clicks of life. He starts with an 18 defense, moves to 17, 16, and 15, and then his damage starts at a 1, moves to 2, 3, and 4. On his first 2 clicks, you'll see he has Mind Control and Incapacitate, Mastermind as his defense power, and Shape Change as his damage power. On his last 2 clicks, he has Plasticity with Pensai, then he has Barrier and Prob. Let's break down what this dial does. So for just 40 points, you're getting a extremely good figure. That trait makes it so that you don't really have to worry about that 6 range and 2 lightning bolts, because you're going to be taking away his team ability any way that I play him. We get rid of that right away. Then he can target anybody he can see with Mind Control or Incap. I tend to like the Mind Control, but depending on the situation, being able to Incap is good also. You can Incap everybody you can see is great. The 12 attack is super solid, so you don't even have to worry about perplexing that up or anything. I do like him on theme teams so that you have some theme prob on those first 2 in case you need it. But I also like him on theme teams where you have some enhancement for his later clicks. There are ways that you can get him from click 1 onto click 3 right away so that you can start taking advantage of penetrating damage, especially with some enhancement around him, to make that 3 easily up to a 6 penetrating on every character he can see. Now keep in mind, he is not targeting through use of those lightning bolts when he uses his Pensai and his trait. So that means whatever his damage value is, it is what is being dealt to the hit targets. So if you enhance or perplex this 3 up to a 6, whoever he hits is going to be dealt that 6 damage. And penetrating to get through everything, 6 damage can take care of a lot of figures on a 1 hit. So he can 1 hit a lot of your opponent's team, or at least get them down to their last couple clicks if all 6 of that goes through. On his top clicks though, I don't mind playing him on those top 2 clicks and just working my way down to the penetrating clicks. So on that Mind Control 12 attack, he can Mind Control anybody he can see, and then use the Mind Control to attack and or move, so you can reposition your opponent's team, have them damage each other. I like this fact that he is indomitable and he has colossal stamina. So the way I play him is I sit him back in the starting area or close to it. I like him on a Justice League team with some Dr. Fate, so I put some Dr. Fates around him for the theme prob at the beginning, but then for the enhancement on the last 2 clicks. And then I try to build a big theme team so I can get map choice. There's some maps that work well, make it very difficult for your opponent to hide. So you want Batman on a map that might have hindering, but not much else, so that he can see everybody. When you put those enhancements around him on his first 2 clicks, they work as mastermind fodder for him if they share a keyword. The Dr. Fates I use are also less points, so that meets both criteria. That's should your opponent be able to close that distance. With mind control, I haven't had a problem keeping the opponent away and having them damage each other. With the Indom, though, we can mind control on his first turn, we can mind control on his second turn, and then with the Colossal Stamina, we can mind control on the third turn, pushing him here, because Colossal Stamina, you would take the push damage. Then Colossal Stamina again, so that would be 4 turns in a row. Then that's pushing him down here onto those last 2 high damage penetrating clicks. So that's one way you can just naturally work through the Indom, Colossal Stamina, and work him down under those clicks. On the team I use them on with the Dr. Fates, you're having multiple chances to take tokens off of him as it goes, but you can always rest him here should you need to, and then start that again. So you could get a click 3 the first time, Pensai, second time with the Indom, and then if you need it, you can do it again for the third time to get him onto his last click. Then you can clear him there. But dealing out that high damage multiple turns in a row without having to rest and a high chance of being able to hit should take care of your opponent. At 40 points, I would have no hesitation to just work straight through that dial with the Colossal Stamina and the Indom and just have Batman do the majority of work for that low points. It's crazy. Let's take a quick look of how this looks on the battlefield so you have an idea of setup and positioning. So for this one, you see Batman's over here, and we have the bunch of jokers across the board to represent the opponent's team. I mentioned that I like to use Batman with the Dr. Fates. So I would set up 3 Dr. Fates around him for a couple reasons. One is because Dr. Fate can carry Batman or TK him should your opponent start to close in. And second thing is they can be used for the enhancement when Batman gets onto his last 2 clicks to bump up that penetrating damage. And because Dr. Fates are low cost, if you play the first one at 65, the next 2 are 10. So 10 points of somebody Batman can mastermind onto is great. But let's break down that trait. So Batman from this position, and we're just using this as an example, this could be just as easily all the way across the map. He could incap on his first 2 clicks, or he could mind control. When he does that, he is going to lose his team ability for the rest of the game, but he picks up the improved targeting hindering, so he can see through this hindering. If the Jokers had access to stealth or anything, doesn't matter. So Batman would be going with a 12 attack on all those Jokers that he can see. He can incap them just to put them, keep them in their spot with giving them a token, or if they've already tokened up to move across there, he can incap to give them the push-in damage on low-cost characters. That can be a way just to work through a couple of their clicks and KO them that way. Or he can do the mind control. I usually tend towards the mind control to get all of these Jokers to then move and attack each other and keep them away and deal damage at the same time. When you get Batman onto his last 2 clicks, then that would be penetrating damage. So in that kind of example with this type of setup, from where Batman's positioned with these Dr. Fates around him, he would be shooting with a 12 attack and a 6 penetrating damage, trying to hit each one of these Jokers for 6 damage each. Again, you don't split that. On his last click, He moves up to a 4 damage. With that enhancement around him, you can get that to a 7 penetrating damage, which is outstanding on a 40-point character. And being able to target everybody, that's just insane. So it depends on which way you want to play him. Like I mentioned, I like working him through his top 2 clicks and not necessarily doing any strategy to move him on to click 3 and 4 from the onset. I don't mind doing the couple turns to mind control people that I can see. Overall, I think this Batman is outstanding. For 40 points. You're getting so many skills and ways to affect your opponent that it's just crazy. He has the 4 clicks of life, the Indom, the Colossal Stamina. So I just work right through him. With his keywords, you could use him on so many different team builds. Justice League, Batman Family, if you want to theme it up. If you don't mind going outside of theme team, Police gives you a lot of opportunity to pick up some enhancement, but also the PD team ability to make your opponent's defense go down by 1 if the PD person can see the target. And the martial artist has a bunch of things you can use him on. So all kinds of builds that this Batman can find his way onto. I think he's great. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you have some ideas on how you want to use him. Go ahead and let me know in the comments what your plans are and how you've already used him successfully or not successfully on some of your team builds. Thanks again.
Check it out. If you dig what we do, go ahead and like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.